The 3 reasons why I bought a property in Mexico and I'm retiring overseas, and why you should do it too. How terrible is that for somebody that done paid off a 30-year mortgage, is a senior, right? So they're living on a senior income, and then now have to worry about continuing to pay property taxes. I can live next to a coffee shop. I could live next to all of the things I want to live next to. Property taxes is probably one of the biggest scams that have ever been invented. We have to find other ways to collect revenue. Today I'm talking about the 3 reasons why I bought a property in Mexico and I'm retiring overseas. The 3 reasons why I bought a property in Mexico and I'm retiring overseas, and why you should do it too. The first reason why is the political climate in the United States is it's insane. It's absolutely, 50% of most people you come across, like they're just ultra passionate about it, right? And for me, it's just not that big of a deal. I can't let it control that much of my life. And politics have started to become a part of people's identity now, right? It's not just about, the type of person you are. It's also about, what side of the aisle you lean toward. And for me, I don't feel like that should be a part of almost everyday life. But here in the States, it's almost impossible to escape it, right? I mean, every time you turn on the TV, you're hearing about politics. You're hearing about, some politician did this or some politician did that. Or, it's just a terrible situation. It's a high stress environment that I really don't want to be a part of. I don't really want to be in a situation where I have to think about politics almost on a daily basis. So that's the first reason why I bought a property in Mexico and I'm retiring overseas. The second reason is property taxes. And this is a huge reason. While you're paying your mortgage, you pay property taxes on a property that you own. But guess what? After you finish paying your mortgage, you're still paying property taxes on a property that you own. Property taxes is probably one of the biggest scams that have ever been invented. We have to find other ways to collect revenue. This is going back to what I said about politics. Like these are the problems that our politicians should be trying to solve. But they're not trying to solve that problem, right? They want to see how much they can hate one group of people or another. But property taxes are destroying people. You hear it all the time. People lose their houses in property tax auctions. If you don't pay your taxes, your house could be free and clear. If you don't pay your taxes, somebody can take your house and buy it at auction. How terrible is that for somebody that done paid off a 30-year mortgage, is a senior, right? So they're living on a senior income, and then now have to worry about continuing to pay property taxes. Property taxes are incredibly uncontrollable. They continue to go up over time, and they could put some people in risk for losing a property that they've paid for their entire life. What do you think about that? Drop in the comments. Do you think that somebody who's paid off their house should continue to have to pay property taxes on it? Just think about it. I get it. We need to have tax revenue, but we got to find a way to get it from somebody else. There shouldn't be a reason why somebody pays off their house and still could lose it in a tax sale. I've seen stuff about it happen all the time. So that's the second reason, man, taxes. The third reason is pretty much just the quality of life, man. Now, don't get me wrong. My quality of life in the United States is top notch. I'm not knocking the US, man. There's a ton to do here. Depending on where you live at, you know, you could go, you know, places to do pretty much whatever you want to do. Infrastructure is fantastic. You know, you can get really good food. I love living in the US. But the bottom line is to maintain that lifestyle, you have to have a certain level of income. So, you know, you'll hear people debate on here all the time about the quality of life here, the quality of life there. And there's a lot of these passport bros that are out there, and they're talking about the quality of life in places like Thailand and the Philippines. They're right. But the one thing that they're leaving out, some of them, not all of them, is that you can get that same quality of life here in the States. The only difference is that quality of life here in the States costs a lot more. So that's the problem. So the bottom line is, I could go somewhere in the States and I can live next to the beach because that's my thing. I can live next to a coffee shop. I could live next to all of the things I want to live next to. But it's going to cost me. It's going to cost me. I can go buy a condo in Playa del Carmen, Mexico right now for $200,000. Have taxes, yearly taxes of about $200-300 a year. And be in walking distance of the beach. Be in walking distance of coffee shops. Be in walking distance of restaurants. And everything. Everything that I would consider making my life enjoyable, I'll be in walking distance of for a lot less money, even food. So those are the top 3 reasons why I bought a property in Mexico and I'm gonna retire overseas. Drop in the comments, would you retire overseas? Why or why not? What are your reasons for not even considering it? A lot of seniors are moving overseas to places like Thailand and the Philippines to have a better quality of life in their fourth quarter. It's something you should definitely consider. If you like content like this, go ahead, drop a like, give me a comment, and subscribe so YouTube can know that I'm doing well with these videos. But anyways, keep running those plays. Peace.